Some betrayals cut deeper than any knife, because they come wrapped in the things we treasure most. Tonight's story is about a man who gave his heart in the form of a gift, only to watch it placed in another man's hands. But instead of breaking, he chose a path far more devastating. Quiet, calculated, and unforgettable. This is a story of love turned cold, of trust shattered, and of a decision that left no room for second chances. Welcome to Breakup, Cheater, where every story is a shadowed window into the hidden corners of human hearts. Here, trust breaks under quiet pressure, love twists into betrayal, and ordinary lives spiral into unforgettable chaos. Each tale is crafted to grip you, haunt you, and make you question, how well do we ever really know the ones we love? If you crave stories of heartbreak, betrayal, and the haunting weight of secrets, you're in the right place. Subscribe, settle in, and let the night begin. I never thought the sound of wrapping paper could make my chest feel like it was caving in. But that's exactly what happened on the night I found out my wife, Claire, had taken the gift I had chosen, our anniversary gift, and handed it to another man. It wasn't a cheap gift. It wasn't thoughtless. I had spent weeks searching for that antique wristwatch, an heirloom-like piece from the 1960s, with delicate engravings on the inside of the band. Forever intertwined. That phrase had meant something to us once. I remember the look on her face when I placed the box on the kitchen counter 3 weeks early, unable to wait any longer. For you, I had said, smiling, trying to recapture a little of the magic that had felt lost lately between long hours, tired nights, and her increasing distance. She opened it, her lips curling into what I thought was surprise, maybe even delight. "It's beautiful, Mark," she whispered. "Really thoughtful." But now, sitting in my car outside a small downtown cafe, I watched her through the rain-spotted windshield as she slid that same box across the table to someone else. The man, mid-30s, sharp suit, that arrogant posture I've come to despise in certain men, opened it. I saw his mouth form a slow, smug grin. He leaned forward, kissed her hand, and she let him. I didn't storm in. I didn't make a scene. Not then. I drove home in silence, fingers tight around the steering wheel, the ghost of our vows echoing in my head. Through thick and thin. For better or worse. Waited. For her to come home. For her to lie. For her to bury herself deeper in the grave she didn't know she was digging. When she walked through the door 2 hours later, damp from the rain, she smiled faintly at me, like I was some piece of furniture she had outgrown but couldn't quite discard yet. "Sorry, the meeting ran late," she said, kicking off her heels. "Meeting?" My voice was calm, almost too calm. "Yeah," she replied, heading to the bedroom. "Work stuff. You know how it is." I didn't answer. Not then. The next few days were a blur of observation. Every text notification, every sudden trip to the office, every quick shower when she got home, it all painted a clearer picture. I checked the credit card statement. 2 dinners at places we had never been together. A charge from a hotel downtown mid-afternoon. I could have confronted her immediately. But betrayal that deep doesn't deserve a shouting match. It deserves a reckoning. Called my lawyer. Quietly. I froze our joint savings account, leaving just enough so she wouldn't notice immediately. I had evidence. Receipts, photos, messages I pulled from her cloud backups. And then I planned my anniversary. The night finally came. I set the table, cooked her favorite meal, one she always requested when things were good between us. I poured the wine she liked, the one that smelled faintly of cherries and oak. She arrived home late again. Hair too perfect. Perfume that wasn't for me. "Wow," she said, surprised. "You went all out." "Of course," I smiled. 5 years today. She blinked, a flicker of guilt crossing her face, but she masked it quickly. "Right, 5 years. We laughed. Her laugh was hollow, but I let it echo anyway. I asked about her day, her work, the meeting she said she had to attend the next afternoon. And then I placed a small envelope on the table. "What's this?" she asked, hesitating. "Something for you," I said. "For us." She opened it. Inside was a printed email, one she had sent, though she didn't realize I'd seen it. It was her message to him, arranging their next meeting, thanking him for wearing the watch because it felt so intimate having him wear something from me. Her hands trembled. "Mark, I can explain." "No," I said quietly, my voice steady. "You've explained enough, haven't you? With your actions." She looked like a trapped animal, glancing toward the door, toward me, then down at the email again. "I didn't mean to hurt you," she whispered. "But you did," I replied. "And not just with the affair. That gift, that was meant to say, I still believe in us. And you handed it to him like I was nothing." Her eyes welled up. "I made a mistake." "More than one," I said, sliding another envelope across the table, this one with divorce papers ready to be served. What followed wasn't screaming. It wasn't rage. It was quiet, surgical detachment. I had loved her, deeply, fiercely, but in that moment I felt something colder, resolve. She begged. She cried. She said it was just a phase, that he didn't mean anything. But he did. And so did the way she diminished me, the way she handed over something I had poured my heart into as if it were just currency for her secrets. "I'm not angry," I said finally, standing. "I'm done. Mark, please don't do this. I already did." The next weeks were chaos for her. She tried to call me, text me, show up at my work. She even tried to get her parents involved, painting herself as the victim. But I had the evidence. And I had the willpower to walk away without turning back. Her lover, married to. His wife filed before I even finalized my own paperwork. As for Claire, she ended up in an apartment across town, trying to piece together the remnants of a life she had set on fire with her own hands. It's been a year now. I sit on my balcony most evenings, watching the city lights flicker. I'm not bitter, not anymore. But there's a scar where love used to be. Sometimes I think about that watch, and how it could have been passed down to a son or daughter one day. Now it's just a symbol of something broken. If I've learned anything, it's this. Betrayal rarely comes like thunder. It creeps in like a draft, slow, chilling, until one day you realize the warmth is gone. And when that happens, you don't always shout. Sometimes you just open the door, and hand them over without hesitation. When trust is broken, the loudest revenge is often silence, and the strongest act of love is letting go. Mark didn't scream, he didn't beg. He simply handed her the life she chose and walked away with his dignity intact. What would you have done if you were in his place? Would you have forgiven, or would you have closed the door forever? Share your thoughts below, and if this story struck a chord, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that pierce the heart and linger in the mind. Until next time, stay vigilant and stay true.